All right, so shall we hop into this fun situation that we are in the graveyard outside the synagogue in
Mhm.
Prague?
We were puzzling it out. Um, and I think at this point, we were going to um, try to use Shape the Sanguine Sacrament to create blood keys or some way of unlocking the locks.
It is
Think that's what we
clever.
were going to try to do?
That is very, very clever. We're going to start this off with Mr. Prophet walking back around the corner after listening in on Emil's phone
Yeah,
call.
yeah.
And so we have Dr. Ford and Benny discussing this thaumaturgical action.
Yeah.
Um, and while Mr. Prophet is walking around the corner to meet up with the rest of his friends, he'll notice that Paul is missing now.
Hmm.
This isn't the first time Paul has just disappeared either.
Um, what's the progress on these locks? And Benny, I need to have a word with you.
A word with me. Okay. Dr. Ford, do you want
I
to
mean, I suppose I can say it in front of Dr. Ford because she's out, at least out about it.
Out about what?
Well, you're like a whatever sorcerer, wizard, something, right?
Sure.
Right. Sure, it's not real reassuring, but I'll take that as a yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's just go with yes. Yes.
Listen, someone else is a sorcerer in this group, and I think it's Paul. He just disappeared.
Yeah, when you guys look around, you'll notice that your Lasombra friend is just not there anymore.
Again.
slipping into shadows?
Yeah, I was.
So
This is why we don't trust them.
I was listening in to Neil. He mentioned that there were two sorcerers in this group.
I think it would be Benny and myself that Emil was referring to.
Hi.
What are you talking about?
What?
Yeah.
Benny is muscle. Benny's wet work.
Well, you're not wrong, but I don't like to get involved in things physically if I don't have to.
You're a sorcerer.
Mr. Prophet, I'm going to tell you flat out, yes.
And then how did you tell Emil that? Because Emil knows that. I didn't know that. Emil knows that. How does he know that?
He's been around while I was discussing it with Dr. Ford, I do believe. But he's never seen me.
Just give me your LinkedIn profile or something so I can catch up. Jesus.
I'm sorry. I don't want you to feel like I've lied to you.
No, I don't feel that. I'd pick that up.
It's just part of who I've been since I've been embraced. So, as much as you see it as you're a Malkavian.
Hey, wait. We don't use that term.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's the deal with the lock? Are you unlocking the thing? I'm not real thrilled about pissing off someone Kane probably babysat for, but we need to either get in here or get out.
Well, I've not tried to make keys out of blood before, but it's an interesting idea that we've kind of stumbled upon as a distinct possibility.
We also still have the problem of that ward.
Yeah.
The trick is breaking the ward.
Mm-hmm.
If we can break the ward, we can figure out how to deal with the keys.
Okay, well, look, We got to get through this thing quick. I'm not feeling safe here. Not going to leave you guys. I'm worried, and we'll have to. I got to tell you some other stuff, but I don't want to distract you. Work on the keys. The big one. It's funny. The big one is the big lock. It's attached to the ore locks, and then all the other little locks are probably reference to the what other seven founding clans. Look, you just do your hocus pocus and get this thing open.
We're trying, Prophet. You seem a little bit agitated.
I'm agitated. Yes, I'm agitated. I don't want to have a therapy session. I want you to open this fucking door.
So
Okay.
when I used the other ability to read the ward itself, I did use my own blood to do that.
Okay.
And it didn't seemingly at that point trigger the ward. If it did, I didn't feel it. So there's a chance that using blood keys, so to speak, may have a similar effect where it could be technically triggering the ward, but because it's not in me or on me, I don't feel it. Again, this is all in the realm of speculation. I've never broken anyone's wards before. So I'll go ahead and try. I'll just go ahead and try and make some keys.
Okay.
That means I have to jump into the dice roll thing and post it.
It does.
All right, so first, arouse the blood. If I fail, I can try again. Nope, I did not fail. I succeeded.
Yeah, everybody keep in mind that your characters, like a lot of them do have like at least automatic rerolls on first level disciplines and stuff for rouse checks. That's something that does seem to get forgotten a lot.
I managed to roll 5 successes out of 5 dice.
5 successes out of 5 dice. Okay, so how do you release your blood?
So
Are you a cut your hand person? Like, how do you do it?
So she'll probably pull out the scalpel that she's been using, and just kind of prick her finger to kind of force it out of her body. And so in an attempt to get the right shape for the keys, she will hold her finger close to the locks, so that way the blood can kind of on its own using gravity land on or near it,
Okay.
and then she'll try to force the blood into different channels to go into the locks themselves.
Okay.
Because her concern is that she doesn't know the correct shape for the keys. So the idea is that she'll put them into the locks before
Before they take
hardening them, before they take shape and harden into solid objects.
Okay. I really like the use of this discipline. This is very inventive. As your hand approaches the seal, and if everybody needs a reminder underneath the scene art, the seal is depicted there. But as your hand approaches the seal, it has this. You ever get to the point where like you're touching something where just enough static electricity is, and your hair is standing up on end?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what you're going through right now as your hand gets closer and closer to this, and you can almost see like little bits of little bits of electricity starting to spark off the blood as it leaves your body and enters. There's actually a scent of burning blood and the sizzling boiling of it as it touches the old iron. And do me a favor and roll 1 dice. Just roll 1d6, actually. It should be the
Oh.
same rolls, just roll 1d6.
One D6.
Bringing another dice into this.
Ah!
1
A
success.
1. It just says 1.
Yeah.
So
One of the locks that your blood, that rivulets have flown into, you actually hear a spring just lose connection and just boing. It's just the sound of a boing. And one of the locks actually, like, with a little bit of a a dusty rust cloud, puffs out, and it just kind of opens and hangs limp. But the rest of them all seem fine, and all you can see and smell is a little bit of smoke coming out of the locks and the smell of burnt blood and rust.
oh dear.
But it did
Well,
break
we have-
one of the locks, but it didn't turn like a key. Like, it didn't unlock like a key. It looks like you actually broke the inside mechanism.
Oh dear. But the lock is
It's just
unlocked.
hanging there. Yeah, it's just
Okay.
hanging there unlocked. You might see a little tiny piece of little flap of metal that's sticking out where it shouldn't be.
Okay. Well, I'm not touching that.
But we have proof of concept.
Yeah. So the other 5 locks are still locked?
It does appear
far
that
as-
way. It does appear that way.
Okay.
There's a little bit of a pinkish steam coming out of them as your blood is boiling inside of it.
Oh.
Basically,
Okay,
the ward versus Cainite is literally burning the blood on the inside of it.
So I need to rouse the blood again and do it again?
You can give that a shot if you'd like to. Yes.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, here we go. And just, try harder. Beat your head harder against the rock. Okay. So that's a failure, but I get a re-rouse, right?
You do get a re-rouse for level 1 disciplines, yes.
Okay. That's still not a success, so my hunger does increase.
Okay.
To 2. All right. And then for the actual roll again, because I imagine I'm gonna have to do the full use the discipline again.
You do.
Okay. 3 successes.
The exact same thing happens with 3 of the other locks. So now there's only 2 left.
Okay.
Where
all right.
It sounds like it breaks on the inside of it. Your blood actually might, like, eat through and come through some of the cracks of these also.
Right. Well, in for
Do you
a penny.
have corrosive vitae?
No, I don't. This is burning my vitae. It's not the other way around.
Yes, it is in fact the ward that is burning your blood.
Oh my gosh. Right, here we go. We're gonna keep
do
going.
this again.
All right, succeeded on the blood on the rouse. Oh man. I want to willpower that because it's 0 successes.
How do you get a 0 success on rolling a d6?
No, not a d6. I was doing the discipline roll, not the d6.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Uh,
I got confused. Got excited.
Yeah, and one of the hunger dice is a 1. Okay, I got 1 success that time.
Okay.
All right.
Yet another one. Just you hear you hear the spring pop, and the lock pops open. This time, the metal latch that hooks around the actual seal itself snaps in half and falls to the ground, shattering into like 5 different pieces because it's so old.
Gosh. I have 1 left. Oh my gosh. Okay. And again. All right, success on the rouse.
You can do this, Ford. Concentrate.
5 successes again.
All right. There's no reason to roll the d6 now, and there's only one left. You're gonna get at least one.
Man.
Yeah, the last one pops open with a dull thud. It hits the ground and breaks into several pieces, and now you have that seal that kind of looks like the man in the iron mask depiction.
Mhm.
But none of the locks are attached to it any longer.
Okay. She'll retract whatever blood that that has not been burnt away.
The only thing that seems to be holding this door shut now is the seal itself. And you know where the 6 locks were around the sides, hanging off of the what looks to be like a flowing cowl from the mask? Yeah. Okay, there are 6 kind of like loops that come off of the door itself, like the seal is being held up by these things, and the locks were just holding the seal on against it. So it's just sheer weight that's holding this thing up there now.
Man.
Well, that and the however many years of rust that's like holding this thing onto it.
This would be a perfect time for Paul to reappear.
It would be.
He's got the the crowbar. Anyone else have a crowbar?
Funny enough, I think that Emil did.
Of course. Key to comedy.
Penny's got a shotgun.
I'm about to say, I've got a shotgun.
Mm.
That's a different way of taking it off. Can I try and butt it with the shotgun, knock it off?
You can if you just do a strength plus melee against it. You're hitting it with the gun, correct?
Lord, strength. Okay. Melee.
Good luck.
Strength it is.
Does Benny have no melee?
0.
Oh
What?
gosh.
What? All right. Oh.
And those were hunger dice.
Yeah. Okay.
Still
well.
2 successes.
You're gonna hit it, and a good shower of rust is just going to fall to the ground. You have definitely knocked it loose, but it's still sitting on the metal loops that were holding it in place.
Rouse the blood, try again.
Okay.
For the rouse, that looks like I'm getting hungrier.
Dear.
And I cannot use willpower because they're all hunger dice.
Yeah.
4 hunger dice.
Oh, I would be at 3 hunger dice, so one of them's not.
Okay. Can we just re-roll the whole thing?
Okay, so
That terrified me.
when he
4
hits
hunger dice.
it again, it kind of jiggles. It looks like it's not affixed. It's literally just sitting there, but Benny can't quite hit it hard enough. Maybe the thing's just too heavy. trying to help Benny save face.
All
Prophet
right,
has
one more
look
swing.
of disappointment.
Ah,
Wow. So,
He leans up against the wall. It's impossible.
where against the wall do you lean?
Oh, not anything connected
Just double checking.
to the door.
Just double checking.
Hand on the wall. Really? It's impossible.
Prophet is just face palming in disappointment.
Hey, Benny. Since you've got so many hunger dice, do me a favor. I need you to roll I need you to roll composure and resolve.
Hunter included?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do that.
Three.
Okay. You're not gonna suffer from a compulsion like I was going to make you, but you definitely do feel frustration at this. This is ridiculous. This is a non-living opponent that seems to be besting you, and it's just annoying.
I'll level the shotgun at it.
oh no.
Are you gonna
Dr.
shoot?
Ford definitely steps away. Oh.
Are
I'll
you?
look at Ford and Prophet. Step back.
Stepping back.
I'll unload.
Okay, and Benny shoots the seal with the shotgun. Go for it, man.
It may not help anything, but it will definitely make me feel better.
Yeah.
So
You don't have any firearms either.
I do not.
But a shotgun does like what, plus something damage?
It's a ridiculous amount, yeah. Oh my god. I'm always looking this page up. Okay.
So for the listeners back home, this is another roll from Betty where he rolls a bunch of dice and there's only one success.
3 is not a bunch. And they're all hunger.
Well, you're shooting at point blank range.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, like you'd have to like severely just botch this for me not to let you hit this like full on like 3 foot by 3 foot
Literally
iron
missed the
shield.
broadside of a barn.
Yeah, while your gun muzzle is against it. Like that's just not happening. Okay, so shotgun. Yeah, that's +4. Okay, so you're gonna hit it, and the thing is just gonna shatter into several pieces, falling onto the ground. Let me see, does Dr. Ford... Where'd I put you? There you are. You have sensed the unseen, Dr. Ford.
Yes.
Yes, when Benny shoots it and it hits the ground, you just see this wisps of energy dissolve as the Ward versus K-Knight shatters.
Oh, whoa.
Angrily looking at the door.
Yeah.
Who was the winner now, motherfucker?
So the way that this door is, now that the seal is off of it, it's just 2 pieces of curved metal, like curved outwards, that kind of just... They push off to the side to reveal whatever's behind it. Like they don't pull out, they slide into the mausoleum.
Okay. So who wants to go first?
I
The
will.
shotgun?
Loading a shell in to replace. Let's go.
The gunfire goes off. also, and you hear screams in the background. And not far behind the "Let's go" that Benny says, you'll start hearing sirens in the distance.
Okay, let's move.
Bolting down.
Hopefully, Emil will get out of the way as quickly as possible too, wherever he is.
Oh, he's got contact.
Stepping in.
Okay.
Yeah.
You you slide the doors out of the way, and they do. They with a little bit of effort, they slide into little cavities in between the stonework. This is pretty advanced for what the time period it was made seems to be. And there's some very shaky stone stairs that lead downward.
Dear. Shaky as in like they might come loose.
Like, it seems that any mortar that was used to hold them together has since ashed and just dusted away.
Okay then.
So yes, you might want to walk very carefully, as the stairs are kind of shaky under your feet as you step down on them.
With Cat's Grace, can I go at full speed?
With Cat's Grace, you can definitely go at full speed. Yes.
I'll go first, so that way there's a little bit of gap between me and the other two. How dark is it?
It's pretty damn dark once you get down there.
All right, so pulling out a flashlight.
Okay.
His heightened senses, sight.
Heightened senses of sight will definitely open it up so that you can see better.
And Dr. Ford will do the same with the heightened senses.
Okay.
Show offs.
Dr. Ford has both. It's a good. That's a good thing.
So yes, it's a very strange, musky old death scent down here. The floor is mostly dirt. You could tell that there was at one point like a wooden, like almost like a boardwalk down here, like not elevated, but just like planks of wood on the ground. But they have since they're almost unrecognizable from the dirt itself. There are roots hanging down from everywhere, including some that are completely wrapped around ancient wooden coffins that are just being pushed out from the ceiling and into the cavity that you're inside of, except that they're all bound up and tied inside the root system so that they're not falling completely. There's also dozens upon dozens of old coffins, like just old fashioned, like classic shaped coffins just leaning up against the walls. This was some type of this was definitely some type of tunnel at one point.
Well,
Working to contain my curiosity about all the different coffins, eras I could be studying. I'll push forward.
yeah,
Where
Dr.
are we
Ford
headed?
will follow. We don't know. We just know that this is a tunnel. So one of the things is we might be able to find a way to get past the red fog or the red mist using these tunnels if for some reason this somehow goes up beneath them. So these tunnels are simultaneously a strategic tool that we are aware of, that other kindred are aware of. But as far as gaining entrance, that sealed lock had been there for a long time. So our egress, if I'm using the word right, our entrance into these tunnels may be an advantage that we have as a coterie that other kindred in the city are unaware of. But we just don't know where these tunnels go.
So follow the tunnels. Got
Yeah.
it.
And pray it's not a primrose path.
Scanning the tunnel ahead with flashlight, making sure there's like no veer offs, drop offs.
There are many tunnels that go off in many directions down here, and it's a pretty strange winding path. So, what do you think your best cause of action is to be able to handle this situation?
More luck than good judgment.
Let's not choose random paths. We don't have breadcrumbs. We don't have a roll of string. Let's just keep turning the same direction each time and see where that takes us. That way
Are
we
you
don't
sure
get
you don't
lost.
have breadcrumbs or a roll of strings? He looks at Prophet.
I didn't bring my chalk
Oh,
or graph paper. But yeah, I like right wall theory. Right wall theory will at least expose us to what's down here.
mm-hmm.
All right. We follow the right wall.
By the way,
Follow the right wall.
do either of you know what auditors mean outside of moral taxes?
So they're like efficiency experts.
Yeah, well, I heard someone say the Banu Hakim and the Somber are auditor.
When you say someone, was that Emil?
Maybe.
Well, we do provide a check to Kindred Society. I can
Oh yeah,
see how.
I wanted to know about that, Benny. While we're down here, like, what are the rules? Like, what are the rules that you use to like judge people? Is it like Ten Commandment ish kind of stuff?
I use the set of rules given to me by the prince of the former city I was in, and it's very similar to the traditions, and it's our version of it.
Are there differences we should know about?
More focused on preventing Kindred from being a burden on the kind.
Huh.
My job is to make sure we don't go crazy and start murdering kind for needless reasons.
So, as you guys are following the right wall, you said,
Yep.
I need you guys to, well, as you guys are following the right wall, you're going to come to a passage that breaks off in 5 different directions.
Oh,
We've got 5 choices.
so either we can keep staying with our stick to the right side. With 5 choices, that means there's 6 tunnels leading from this room. One, the one that we came into from.
You seem to have found yourself in a type of hub. The walls in here actually are reinforced with old wood. Probably not a good idea to put any weight on the wood beams that are down here also. They seem very old and brittle.
So we don't want to cause a cave in. Old dig sites always give me the creeps.
Dr. Ford's going to use Sense the Unseen just to make sure that there's actually only the 6 tunnels.
Okay.
Just in case.
One of the tunnels has a bit of a mystic glow to it.
But it's not the one that's immediately to our right, is it?
It is not. No, it's like the third tunnel in, so like the middle tunnel. In fact, if you want to give me a wits plus aspects roll while you're staring at that tunnel with the strange glow.
Okay. Here we go. 5 successes.
5 successes. Okay. Written in blood that can no longer be seen by the naked eye. Stained into the earthen walls. Almost as if it's a sign above the door, like above the passageway itself. You can make this out almost as if it was a ward, but it's not a ward. It says the path of Cain is the only way.
That's kind of freaky, she says out loud.
What's up?
She points at the tunnel straight ahead. Says, this one says, the path of Cain is the only way.
Shining my light in that tunnel?
It's a tunnel. It goes probably a few meters down, and then there's a sharp turn to the left.
I know we'd said, right-hand rule, so to speak. But I have the distinct impression that we should go that way.
Let's go.
All right. Do as the lady says.
Okay. So you guys walk down this tunnel. The same earthen walls, the same roots hanging from the ceilings, the same mostly earthen floor. But as you approach that left-hand turn, you'll notice that someone has put down like flagstone where the floor would be. And the walls are going from being brick, or from being earthen to being brick. Not like the little red bricks that people build out of, but like out of like massive placed carved stones. And as you make that turn to the left, you are going to see a large, half-rotten wooden door with an iron frame that has a circle of skulls emblazoned on the center of it in iron. And if you like, I can find a picture of that skull.
Is it the same symbol that's on the book that Benny ended up with?
It is exactly the same symbol.
I was about to say, that sounds familiar.
I forgot that I told you about that. Yes, it's the same skull.
So, Nodus. Yay.
So Dr. Ford will recognize the symbol, but she doesn't necessarily know what it means.
Very true.
Let's go through that door, see what's behind there.
Okay, then. Dr. Ford will turn to Mr. Prof and go like, have you seen this symbol before?
It could be the Nosferatu circle jerk room.
Wow.
Maybe. So,
Since the unseen on the door.
Since the unseen on the door, you don't get really much from the door itself, but this whole hallway seems to have kind of a ethereal glow to it.
We're gonna shotgun level, flashlight in the other hand underneath.
well, before you shoot the door, maybe try to see if it's unlocked. What?
No, I'm not shooting the door.
Oh.
Let
I'm
me
just
shoot the
ready
door.
for something to be behind it.
Oh,
Walking forward, push it with the butt of the shotgun, or the muzzle of the shotgun.
I have breach training, Benny.
so you
Okay.
want to lead the way?
I'm just saying, when it comes to shotguns and doors, I might be able to help you there.
Not looking to break the door. I'm just seeing if it's open, unlocked,
The
how hard I
door,
have to push.
by the look of the large, like, canister hinges that are on the left side, you can tell that the door is supposed to open inward.
Okay.
Do you just try to pull it open?
Yep.
Okay. As you try to pull it open, it is hefty. I do not see that you would not be able to open it, though. But the wood is going to start creaking, and parts of it are going to start coming off as you yank on it.
Slowly.
Slowly, parts start falling off. Basically, what happens is the iron will come, but it's very flimsy when the wood starts to fall away.
Okay.
And
so the door itself is degraded.
the door itself starts to fall off, and the rusty iron just kind of like bends under its own weight. You can open it, but the door is going to just be ruined when you do.
All right.
And when you open that door, you're going to come to a sight out of the movie Labyrinth, with just stairways going in all directions and no bottom in sight. Now, the floor itself, however, looks incredibly sturdy. Everything's highly decorative. That same symbol that the seal was, with that man in the iron mask motif, is everywhere on this place. But there's just stairs that go down. There's stairs that go up. When you first go through the door, though, there seems to be a flight of stairs that go downward to a central pillar in the room that seems to have some type of some type of plaque on the wall where the stairs reach the bottom.
I see we've stepped into an MC Escher painting.
This is my kind of place. Yeah.
So there's a pillar down there. Let's check it out.
Yeah, Dr. Ford is just in awe of this whole thing.
This had to have taken centuries to build. The thing is massive.
And just the fact that the door leading to this room fell apart as we were opening it just kind of tells her, like, this is new as far as anyone who has actually been in here in forever.
So
Just
do
a lot.
you guys go down?
Yes.
Oh God, yes.
Oh
Okay.
man.
You guys come down the stairs, and there is a break off to the left and to the right, with the one pillar in the center with a very large plaque that has that entire that entire man in the iron mask shield onto the bottom of it with writing in ancient Czech underneath it, or above
Gosh.
the actual shield. If anybody from the area itself?
Not I, says Dr. Ford.
No.
No.
No, nobody's
Uh,
here. Okay. Tell you what, Benny.
I was about to say 4 dots in linguist. Can I try?
Oh,
That's
good.
why
Thank
I
goodness.
that's why I said Benny. Benny, do you have your book on you?
As much as humanly possible.
Okay, so go ahead and roll intelligence. What exactly does your linguist merit do?
I think it's one language per dot.
Okay, well, tell you what. Go ahead and do. I'm going to let you do intelligence. Let me see. Let me see your character sheet real quick.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I actually. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I was just going to say, Benny, you can make this roll with intelligence plus academics plus your auspex because you're holding that book.
Okay.
And while he's rolling that, I remember rereading the linguistics merit, and it does say in some games, like up to storyteller discretion, a player with like 0 dots can still be bilingual. But
Yes, they can.
just a random thing.
You can. At character creation in V5, what they let you do is take your character's language of origin. So if your character is like from Italy and moves to America, you can still speak common. They allow you to they allow you to have the common language for the area for free. That way your character is just not running around not knowing what the hell people are talking about. All right, so Benny,
It looks like 3.
you got 3 successes. Okay. The book seems to vibrate as it's near this near this pole. Do you do anything about that?
Yeah. If it's vibrating, it's trying to tell me something.
Mm-hmm.
You could pull it out.
Okay.
And I'll start fingering through the pages until something feels like it's right to open to.
Okay. As you're flipping through the pages, there's a set of Roman numerals towards the top of the pages of the book. You find one that matches some Roman numerals that are on this, like that are also on this pillar. And the obvious blood ink that was used to write this book starts to bead up as if it was going to start bleeding outward, but then the blood takes form in a language you're more familiar with. And as the blood moves around, everybody can see this. Mr. Prophet can see this, Dr. Ford can see this. They can see the blood moving around. What language do you think it would be in? Like, where's
English.
Benny from?
He's American.
He's American? Okay. Well, then it pops out in just straight English. And the page changes. Like I said, the characters on the page change, and it says, "In the beginning, there was only Cain. Cain who sacrificed his brother out of love. Cain who was cast out. Cain who was cursed for the lust for blood. It is Cain from whom we all come, our sire's sire."
Okay.
That's a neat trick. Where did you learn that?
It's a sorcerer.
Now,
The book, it does things.
there,
Oh,
as I said, when you came to the bottom of the stairs, there's a split. There is a staircase that continues downward and a staircase that continues upward.
so maybe it's a clue as to which direction we should go.
Ancient riddles.
Do people need a hand?
Yeah. What? My. Oh gosh. I only kind of recall like the second half of the couplet, so to speak.
Oh, I can reread it if you want me to. Just let me know.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It says in the beginning there was only Cain. Cain who sacrificed his brother out of love. Cain who was cast out. Cain who was cursed with the lust for blood. It is Cain from whom we all come, our sire's sire.
Yeah, I got nothing.
If you guys need help, roll a wits plus. Let me see. I will accept wits plus academics, which I do believe that Benny has a bonus for ancient mythology.
Yep.
So for couplets of ancient mythology, I will allow you to use that. Our Malkavian is so quiet today. I'm not used to that. It's kind of scary.
3 successes.
3 successes for Benny. The couplet that you're reading, it seems to be talking about Cain's downfalls more than anything else. So he who sacrificed his brother, who was cast out and then cursed. So it could be telling you to go down.
It makes me remember this lullaby that my mother used to tell me. She was in the cult of Isis for a long time. It was kind of weird. I didn't join that, but said what? Serpent on the altar now, wrapped itself around your spine, so you look into the mouth. Kiss the pearly fangs divine. Happy that your end is swift. Weeping virgin cries in bliss. The snake and priestess they are one. A veil of flesh is ripped undone. I think that means we should go down.
I thought my childhood was weird.
That wasn't weird. That was a nightly thing.
I have
Okay.
questions. Prophet, you never cease to amaze me. But I agree
He was
with him.
big into the like philemic orders and things like that. I didn't get into that so much, but yeah, I think we got to go down.
As we go down, do we notice anything about the I guess the I don't know how to describe it once we go down the stairs. Does it go into another tunnel? Is there any kind of unique features about the entrance to this new tunnel? Should I call it a portal or a portal? Not a portal.
No, it's just a staircase that heads downward, and there's
Okay.
another plaque on a pillar, and
Bringing book out.
the floor that you approach that has the pillar in the center has a walkway that goes left and right, and these do go into doors. They are open doors, but it is very dark on the inside.
Okay.
But the next plaque is pretty much it pretty much looks the same. It's got the man in the iron mask symbolism towards the bottom of it, and it has another couplet which, as you approach, um the book actually goes back to what it looked like originally, and the page will turn to the next page by itself, and the letters will start rearranging into English again.
Right. So let's read.
Some creepy blood sorcery shit going on here.
Yeah.
This is normal blood sorcery shit. Calm as a Hindu cow right now.
The next page, as the blood settles into English, says, "For the passing of an age, Cain lived in the land of Nod." Makes that sound too. For the passing of an age, Cain lived in the land of Nod, in loneliness and suffering. For an eon he remained alone, but the passing of memory drowned his sorrows, and he returned to the world of mortals. To the world of mortals. To the world of his brother, and his brother's children had created.
So there's 2 different doors to choose from now.
Anything distinct about either door?
The doors seem identical for the most part, except for little decorative plaquettes at the top of them that don't have any writing on them, but they do have pictures. There's a picture of the Iron Mask styled, just the helmet though, not the whole shield. And then there's one of what looks to be a city in the distance.
So we have to return to the world of man, which is the city in the distance.
After a long period, yeah.
I think I'm seeing a pattern now.
I'm starting to get the sorcery stuff.
I don't understand the...
Mr.
Oh,
Prophet's going to be an amazing wizard one day.
Sorcerer Supreme right there.
We're reliving, or we're following the story of Cain.
Path of Cain.
Path of Cain, yeah.
Yeah.
The Camarilla would hate this.
Yeah. The Azamites also will not.
Yeah.
Sorry. Bottom of the key.
Dr. Ford, can I ask you a question, a CAM question?
A CAM question? Sure.
Who else besides a Justicar can send in Archons?
A what?
I don't know for what, but I'm just saying send in.
As in?
Like give them their papers, like tell them you got to go do this. Who else can do that?
So if you want to think in terms of hierarchical structure, the Archons are supposed to be directly responsible or report directly to the Justicars themselves. There's more than one type of Archon, I guess you could say. For instance, the Justicar Lucindy was an Alistair, which is like a type of Archon, who has a little bit more leeway. But above the Justicars, you have the Inner Circle. So, ostensibly, they could command an Archon when there isn't a Justicar in place.
Do we think that Emil likes Lucindy with the way that he treated the letter and everything?
So I thought it was a little, um, how do you put, risky for him to uh, just hand the letter over, not to the person to whom it was addressed to, but to his primogen. Just in the off chance that it might be some kind of personal affront to the Justicar himself. But
Unless, wait, I got it. Unless Emil is secretly working for Lucindy.
not all archons announce who or what they are.
Well, I don't think Emil's an Archon, but I think he's on the payroll.
So maybe he works for an archon who works for Lucindy.
No, I think he works for Lucindy.
Oh. Well, we should probably keep moving forward through this one door that looks like it's maybe relevant to this story of Cain. But
Right, yeah. I just don't want to keep my fellow coterie mates in the dark.
like Emil is.
Yeah, and Benny.
Yeah, what?
What?
You didn't tell me you were a sorcerer.
I also didn't tell you, I like chocolate ice cream when I was alive, but,
Well, that's in your file.
Well,
I have a file.
We should go through this door, as Dr. Ford is saying. Yeah.
I'll start walking. Okay.
do I have a file too?
It's not a medical record.
God.
Oh,
Oh, Malkavians. Oh.
so you may want to annotate any file you have. Generally speaking, Tremere and Banu Hakim can be considered sorcerers, just generally speaking.
Some more than others. I'll walk forward into the door.
The tunnel continues.
Oh man.
You come to another pillar that has a set of stairs going to the left and a set of stairs going up to the right. And this one, again, your page turns on its own and the letters start to rearrange on the page. And it says, though he became ruler of a mighty nation, Cain was still alone. For none was as he. His sorrow grew once again. Then he committed another great sin, for he begat progeny, of whom there were only 3. But from them came more progeny, Cain's grandchilder. And then Cain, that was the worst cadence ever. And then Cain said, an end to this crime. There shall be no more. And as Cain's word was law, his brood obeyed him. The city stood for many years, and became the center of a mighty empire.
So Dr. Ford's going to note that the symbol on the door matches the symbol on the book. The story in here is all about Cain. So she's kind of like pointing all these things out. You said that this book was like an ancient arcane tome. Is it the story of Cain as well?
Apparently.
So you weren't actually able to read it earlier. It's literally revealing itself to us now.
It unfolds as it is needed. If you cannot tell from it giving us information that we need. I wouldn't say there's anything more occult than that. It has a will.
I guess I could understand that. I'm not sure if I do, but okay. So he was alone. He said, "Stop having kids, everybody," and they stopped having kids. All right. Does that mean we go up, down, left, or right?
Well, you have one stairwell that leads down and one
Okay.
stairwell that leads up. So, given the last two, you can probably take this into consideration on whether or not Kane is making a good decision or a bad decision by halting the spread of kindred.
Oh.
And that would be an up.
Okay. Let's go up. I have no reason to question that. But I'd also love to read what's in my file, Mr. Prophet.
You don't have clearance for that.
Huh.
All right. So you guys go up?
Yes.
Okay. As you go up, there is another pillar next to a door on your right and a stairway going up to your left. The page changes again,
Holding the book to as close to the pillar as possible.
and it says, "But then came the great deluge, a great flood that washed over the world. The city was destroyed, and its people along with it. Again Cain fell into a great sorrow, and went into solitude, becoming as a dog amidst the wastes, and leaving his progeny to their own ends. They came to him and begged him to return, to help them rebuild the city. But he would not come with them, saying the flood had been sent as punishment for his having returned to the world of life and subverting the true law."
Staying on his current path, not ascending.
But are there symbols for either the stairwell or the doorway?
The stair the one to the right, the doorway, is blank. Like there's a plaque there, but there's nothing on it. And
Okay.
the one to the left is 13 pictograms that are vaguely human shaped.
So in this case, he's rejecting them. So we're not going to the stairwell. We're going to the blank doorway, right?
On our current level.
On the current level. So
On our current level, stairway would go up.
cool. Right. Let's do that then, I guess.
Is,
Whew.
is it sacrilege to say like he didn't know that? I mean, didn't like a meteor hit the Earth or something to cause the ice age to melt or whatever?
Oh, we're long after that.
Oh, we're after that.
Yeah.
This is just a story.
But I'm trying to
That's
understand it in historical context.
We'll go
whether
with
or
it's
not
just a story.
it's my dad was into religion and whatever, but it's just a story. Was there really a global flood? I don't think so.
Well, yeah, there has to be a global flood. Don't you watch stuff like Ancient Aliens?
No.
All right.
Benny is literally biting his lip, trying not to talk.
Want to peek at the file? You need to watch some Ancient Aliens, and we'll talk about it.
Let's just go through this door.
How'd the Sphinx get wet, huh?
Do you think it never rained in Egypt?
He's going to grab Ford by her arm, respectfully. Ford, we need to continue.
Let's do.
Mr. Prophet is the best Malkavian. Like, you guys are in a hurry doing this stuff, and he's just like the biggest distraction. Oh, God. Okay. So, as you walk through the door, you continue on this narrow, elevated path where you still can't see the ground. As soon as you walk through the door, there is a stairway that leads upward to your right. There is, however, also the walkway that continues on to another plaque that you can see that has a stairway going up to the left and a stairway going up to the right. So there are 3 stairways in this portion of the area.
But the pillar with the writing is ahead of us. We have to pass the stairwell, right?
That seems to be what it is, yes.
Is there any symbol near the stairwell?
The one that you pass as you're walking up or walking in?
Yes, yes.
Just that symbol of the man in the iron mask style thing. Like the shield again.
You two stay here. I'll walk to the pillar by myself.
Okay.
And that's where it gets you. No, I'm kidding. Now that you're separate. No, as you approach the pillar, the page in the book yet again turns. And
And
the
I'll
lettering...
read it out loud for everybody in the
Okay.
back.
It eventually spells out, "A great war was raged, the elders against their children, and the children slew their parents. The rebels then built a new city, and brought to it 13 tribes. It was a beautiful city, and its people worshipped them as gods. They created a new progeny of their own, the 4th generation of Canaanites. But they feared the jihad, and it was forbidden for those children to create others of their own kind. Although this city was as great as Cain's, eventually it grew old, as do all living things. It slowly began to die. Their city was destroyed, and their power extinguished. With their authority gone, all were free to create their own broods. And soon there were many new Canaanites, who ruled across the face of the earth."
So it doesn't sound like that would have anything to do with the masked man.
And I'll wave them forward. Looking to the stairways near the pillar,
Yes.
are there any placards?
Yes. The one on the left has 3 humanoid pictograms. One seems to be female. The other seems to be a masculine figure in a warrior's pose, and the other one seems to be a male figure in a scholarly pose. The one off to the right, however, has 13 small pictograms of humans, or of a humanoid shape towards the top, but then it just goes down to create so many more pictograms underneath them.
So 13 tribes, anyone?
Were y'all ever taught about this, like by your sires?
As in like this story?
I
Yeah.
think we need to go the path with 3.
3, but you were just reading off that it said 13 tribes. And then they had
Yes.
no restrictions beyond that. So they started multiplying some more, right?
What was the path of Cain? Cain wasn't 13 tribes, 13 clans. Cain was his children.
Okay.
have
I guess I'm
stopped.
getting caught up in the story. So Kane stopped at 3, but the others went, okay, I can see what you're talking about. Yeah.
Did your sires ever tell you this story before?
No,
I didn't get any good thing from my sire. Well, I shouldn't say that. I knew how to honeypot people, but I thought
interesting.
I had like 7 or whatever. I don't know. And the Sabat were just assholes.
Let's see about this door or this stairwell.
Okay, so are you going to the left or the right?
The left, the one with 3.
Okay, you go up to the one with 3. The doorway itself, like just like all the other ones, just seems to be very dark. Like you really can't see through what's going on, even with heightened senses. Sense the unseen kind of gives it a little bit of a shimmer, like there's something enchanted about these doors. When you do walk through all of these doors the way that it is, they do seem to have some type of ethereal lighting that seems to be coming from the very walls themselves. So if you walk through this door, there's a little bit of a feeling of pressure. And as you walk in, there is a stairway directly to your right going up. There is a hall that goes down with a pillar in the center, with a stairway that goes up to the right and a stairway that goes up to the left.
What is the placard on the stairwell immediately to our right? One with a masked face.
Yes.
Ah. Huh. Well, this looks very familiar. And if that was the wrong door, I'm glad to say I don't think we died.
Or we did die. Recreated us. Don't learn nothing if you're dead. All right.
Isn't that the transporter paradox? I don't want to talk about it.
Moving back forward to the pillar.
Okay. You see the placard again?
Yep.
It says,
Oh gosh.
"A great war was waged, the
Ugh.
eldest
Right.
against their children, and the children slew their parents."
Okay.
Let's go to the right. I think rather than going through exactly what Cain did, we're going through the story, because the story is somehow the path of Cain. So I'd
Cain
say
is
we go to the
visibly
right.
unnerved.
I mean,
You
it's a
go.
story.
So are you going up to the right now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. When you get up to the right, you come to a room that is made out of a cobblestone floor, large stone brick walls that seem to be a little bit better created through masonry. Like somebody put some work into making these look good, though they are very old. It's a very dusty room. There's not really much in here. And if it wasn't for the fact that this place was so old, you wouldn't catch the fact that some of the bricks don't line up the same as the majority of them. It looks like there is some type of door in the wall, and you can only see it because the bricks don't the bricks don't overlap. They're like perfectly measured.
Weird.
But other than that, you're just in an empty room.
So the room is empty and there's no way forward, only a way back.
Well, there's the door behind you that you just came
Uh-huh.
in from, and the wall in front of you seems to have a door in the bricks, like a hidden passage that would not be visible if like so much of the mortar from the bricks hadn't already like crumbled to dust out of it.
Okay. So can we leverage it or push on it?
You can definitely give that a try. It might.
Okay.
It's a big brick wall, so it might be very heavy. Um, I would suggest a combined effort.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, when you touch the bricks, they're very warm.
That's kind of disconcerting. But let's try anyways.
I wonder if there's like a pressure switch in here. Like one of these other bricks activates this door.
Um,
That's a good question.
Wits plus awareness. I see 3 successes.
Mm-hmm.
While you're looking around, there's a small uh, inlaid, what looks like metal, um, the same symbol, the circle of skulls, the Nautist skull, in the floor, in front of where the door is. You didn't see it at first because the floor is so covered in dust that it just kind of blended in.
Benny, look down here. Look down here.
Hmm.
This might help open the door. We don't have to push on it. Probably. Hope not.
Okay, so not a symbol. Try tapping it, pushing it first.
You push it, and it kind of presses in a little bit, and then pops out a little bit further.
Okay. Is it turnable?
It is. It turns clockwise in the floor with a little bit of forcing, and you hear a click. And after you hear that click, the entire wall that seems to not quite fit the rest of the wall turns on a center axis, revealing more of a passageway. The door swings open. Kind of rough, like the bricks are scraping against the cobblestone on the ground. It's not a clean open, but it does open. It does swing forth, and you find yourself in a highly well done room that seems to have been put together by very talented masons. There's various sizes of bricks. There's archways. The floor is all made out of flat stones that have various designs carved in on them. And it doesn't take long for you all to realize that you're all in a crypt.
Well, we kind of started in a crypt, but now we're back inside the crypt.
Yeah, you've come into some
A
type
different
of
one.
incredibly well made but very old crypt. There's also about half a dozen incredibly old skeletal figures on the ground that seem to be wearing scraps of uh, leather armor, very large scimitars. They're just yeah. There's a lot of dead bodies in here that are very old. This is not fresh. This was done many years ago. Most of the skeletal remains aren't even like full skeletal remains any longer.
But they're actually human remains, not kindred.
I mean, I'm not really sure how you'd be able to tell the difference aside from fangs. You don't notice any fangs.
Okay.
Um, but they do seem like I don't think vampire remains would be around this long. Um, yeah.
Okay. What room is this? Where what crypt is this? I'm looking around, scanning.
In here, let's see. Above a door, there's a door that looks like it had a portcullis attached to it at one point that's been kind of dislodged and just like thrown onto the floor. There is a large placard where typically the names of a family for the grave sites would be, and it says Premisil.
So, oh, does anyone recognize what that might refer to?
Academics roles are appropriate if anybody wants that. I'm pretty sure that Benny and Ford would be the only ones appropriate for that type of role.
Yep.
Actually, I will also accept politics as a role, if anybody has that. And Dr. Ford, you have court politics. I
Yeah.
will allow that specialty.
Oh, cool. Well, shucks.
Wow, Dr. Ford.
Uh-huh.
We're all stuck in kindred lore, apparently.
Yeah. The name Premisil may sound familiar, but you're really not catching any information off of it.
In the word Premisil, it's on. What is it on again?
It's on a big decorative stone carved plaque above the door. To I guess to the exit of the room that you're in right now.
Okay. So, who wants to take bets that the bodies were from a fight?
Judging by the source, I'd say we could say yes.
The question is, were they trying to prevent people from entering the area that we just came from, or from those trying to enter through this this Premisil gate, so to speak?
So, using my knowledge of archaeology and past interactions, does it look like this was a defense of something, or is it like they were attacking that door to get through and died?
Okay. The bodies themselves, and when I say bodies, I'm using that very, very loosely.
Very loosely.
There's barely skeletal remnants. Um, Benny specifically, out of your life as a Banu Hakim, you know that these bodies have been sitting here for at least a few hundred years. It just completely, no one knew they were here. And there does seem to be, by slices in the bone and the ripping, and slices in the what's left of the leather armor that they're wearing. They are definitely combat wounds. There's one of them looks like it was mauled by a dog. Like there seems to be chewing on the bones. But they are further in to the mausoleum than where the portcullis has been broken and set outside on the floor. And if you look at the portcullis itself, it's on the floor face down, bent in a way that looks like it was broken out of from the room that you're in right now. Like something got out of this room.
Something escaped here.
If it had been bent the other way, it would have looked like something had broken in.
Mm-hmm. So these were the people that were attacking the thing that was inside the room. More than likely, they came in after it broke out.
Possibly, or they were defending this room from whatever came in.
I wonder who Lisa Merp is.
What?
Just read premise so backwards. It's Lisa Merp.
That's well. Uh,
That's nice, Benny.
Dr. Ford, I'll let you handle this. I'll walk through where their portcullis was.
Mhm.
Please don't disturb any of the bodies. I'd like to come back and study this later.
I would too. This is the most fun I've ever had.
So when you go through that portcullis, it leads to a set of stairs that kind of winds upwards. Now they're big, they're square, they're bulky, so it's not like a spiral staircase, but the stairs are on your left. They only go up for about 5 or 6 steps, and then they go up even further. You just seem to be in some type of narrow, possibly subterranean vault that is built as a stairway to go up. And as you go up, the heat just keeps increasing in this place.
It's
so who
noticeably
wants to?
hot.
Yeah, who wants to take a guess that we're close to, if not just directly below the church?
Probably not a good thing.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with the story of Cain?
I think we finished the story of Cain.
Oh,
Well,
I mean,
technically, we're
it's.
still living the story of Cain because, we exist.
I guess that is one explanation.
it just leaves off with like there were 13 tribes and that's it.
And hundreds and hundreds of generations later, I'll point to Prophet, I'll point to Ford, and then I'll point to myself. We're the outcome.
Right.
Yeah. So,
While I've never really learned this particular story, it doesn't really mesh with the story that my sire told me about our clan.
oh, sorry, laughed.
Oh, uh-huh. So there's clearly a hole somewhere in the story.
Well, this is dampening my business plan. The kingdom doesn't really have an HR department. I've learned a lot coming through here. We could renovate this thing and charge boons for people to come through.
Whoa.
Cash, I don't care. Like, Venmo.
No. You see, the Camarilla doesn't approve of this story.
Oh, so I shouldn't tell people about it?
No. This is one of those things that it's probably best we don't mention.
Okay, but not now, but maybe you can somehow eventually explain to me why?
No problem. But let's continue on to the church, possibly. See if it gets any warmer up here.
So you guys continue up these winding stairs that are leading upward. Every so often you find a platform, and you are going up like a lot at this point. And in these platforms that you find, every once in a while you find just a pile of rags that are sitting among just dust. Just piles of what look to be old robes, possibly, and dust.
and dust.
And it's that very light, flaky, ashy dust.
That's more than likely kindred bodies. That's kindred remains.
If you touch with your hands or even just move with your foot or whatever, the rags, they don't hold very well. They're so old and brittle that most of them just become one with the ashes as you move them.
Hmm.
Let's
And
try not to disturb.
And the stairway continues up to a flat ceiling that the stairway just seems to go into, with another one of those knottist metal pieces in the wall to the right next to it.
First off, back of the hand test to the trap door.
Oh, it is quite warm.
So this might be the church or somewhere very close to it because putting my hand up there, it's hot, very very hot.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys ready for that? Get your
I
beasts
can
in
be.
check.
As in check as it's going to be.
So I'll press the not a symbol. See if it pops out.
Yep.
If it pops out, I'll turn it.
It pops, it turns, and when you do that, there's a very scratchy, like dragging heavy stone over heavy stone sound that goes as the ceiling above you slides into the wall behind you, and the stairway goes up into another mausoleum area. This one is a lot prettier. This one has a lot more decoration. There's a big shield with a crown with a cross and leaves surrounding it. I will gladly get that picture for you. I don't know why I describe things when I can just give it to you.
You're a good storyteller.
Huh?
You're a good storyteller.
Yeah. I do kind of get caught in description. I've noticed, this is a little out of character rant while I'm looking for what I'm trying to put up for you. There we go. I've noticed that I tend to do things on the fly like this because if I plan things out too much, I don't use what I found.
Yeah.
So the seal is on the scene art now. That is on the back wall of this room, and there are 12 large stone caskets with engravings on all of them in this room also.
I'll start dusting off the caskets, seeing if there's any writing.
Yes, there is writing. One says Praotikek, one says Lech, one says Krok, one says Lebrus, one says Premisil the Plowman, one says Nasami, one says Menada, one says... It's just a bunch of Czech names.
Okay.
I can give you all of them if you want them, but that's
Yep.
what's on them.
My check. She's not so good.
The only name that really seems familiar is, like I said, the
Premisil.
the fifth one
No.
says Premisil. And
So
this room continues on to a hallway that opens up into another area that turns to your right.
So, everybody interested in what's in the Premisil one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not just me.
absolutely.
curiosity has gotten the better of me.
Are you opening it?
I will attempt to.
Okay. This is going to be rather difficult. It's probably going to be something, again, that takes more than one person to do because these things are heavy.
Mm-hmm.
But this will be a strength plus brawl check. Because you are not using anything to help you with it. You're just trying to push this large stone cover off. You guys are all pretty smart. If you push all from one side, like if you all push from the top left corner, it should turn a little easier than if you were just trying to remove the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Got to give you guys some credit for intelligence. Dr. Ford, you're great.
Yay.
Mr. Prophet, you bother the hell out of me, but you're good. And, and Benny seems to know what he's doing around bodies, so yeah.
All right. So do you want us to do a roll, or do you want to just say that all three of us working together to just kind of jimmy the lid?
I think all three of you go ahead and do a roll. But let's just have one of you do the roll and add one extra dice for each person who's helping.
All right. Someone other than me make the roll.
Someone other than me. Nose goes.
Well, if Dr. Ford does the roll, she'd be rolling 3 dice.
Yeah. Let's see.
If Benny does it, he'll be rolling 2.
Benny's got
What?
Benny's got 2 dice plus
but
the 2 of you.
Yeah.
Plus
So
the 2
you'd
of
be
you,
rolling
so that's
4.
Let's see. Mr. Prophet would be rolling 4 dice, and Dr. Ford would be rolling 1 dice. So, you guys are all equally weak. That's amazing.
Yes. So all of us put the one dot into strength. Lovely, amazing, glorious.
You can rouse check for an extra point in strength.
Not happening. Really Someone else want to do it?
Oh my god.
Roll 4 dice, Benny.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Oh, that makes me so
First
happy.
rouse check for 2 extra dice. Lord.
Have mercy.
Okay.
All right. So now you're really hungry.
I mean, you still get the extra dice. You're just hungrier now.
Which is not a good thing for
Which
anybody.
is not a good thing.
All right, so blood surge. So I get a total of 6 dice, 2 successes.
2 successes. I will give that to you. So it is clunky and awkward, but you are able to push it to the point where you can see the inside, and there is quite the decayed body in there, who seems to be very well dressed. Can I get a wits plus awareness for everybody? I think Dr. Ford will most likely be the person who notices this, but let's give everybody a chance. Whoa, okay. That jumped. Wow, Benny. Is that a bestial failure?
Not quite. There's 2 successes.
Is that 2 ones on your hunger dice, Benny?
They're all hunger dice.
Oh my god. That's great. Anyway.
Still got more successes than me.
Okay, that's 1 success. And Mr. Prophet, that's 2
3.
successes. 3 successes. Okay, Mr. Prophet's going to notice this. The brooch that the body is wearing. You've seen this symbol before. It's a dragon swallowing its tail.
Oh, look, the Ouroboros thing is there.
What?
The Ouroboros. The
Oh, Mr. Prophet's going to know specifically. This is the Clan Zamitzi symbol.
oh, these, yeah. Okay. Um, apparently Premiso was Samishi.
I'll look at the body. How decayed is it?
It is very decayed. I can get you an exact year if you want.
But it doesn't look torpid.
Oh, God, no. No.
Okay.
Um,
that could have been a problem.
out of character knowledge, just for fun, this guy was murdered in 1306.
Oh, lovely.
His name is Premisil Urek, and he is the legendary husband of Labrusa, ancestor of the Premislid dynasty. Yeah, no, this is like every name that I gave you in here is a real name.
Oh,
Like
wow.
I have Wikipedia articles pulled up on all of these bodies right now, if you guys want. Overachieving storyteller.
I'm just hoping LaBruce wasn't Robert LaBruce.
No, not Robert LaBruce. LaBrusa.
I know so little.
Oh my god. The funny thing though is this guy who's wearing the Zamitzi clan symbol on a brooch, holding his cape, his fancy cape that covers one arm and flips over one shoulder. He's also buried with a hoe.
Okay.
Like a field hoe, like a plowing hoe.
Not fancy
not like his
gardening in the afterlife.
not like his best bitch. He's buried with a hoe.
Yeah.
My bottom bitch coming with me.
Oh god. So yes, that's what's in there. That's what's in there.
I'll remove the Zamitzi pin.
Okay.
Throw that in the backpack.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody has any reason to know this. Let me check everybody's stats real quick. I guess if anybody wants to make I will allow academics, occult, or science. If anybody wants to do an intelligence to know what material the thing is made out of. I don't know if you really care. You don't have to.
Take the occult as I am grabbing it.
Academics. Oh. Well, 2 successes on that.
3 successes.
Okay. Is
No.
Mr. Prophet's not. Mr. Prophet doesn't care. 3 successes. As you're picking it up, obviously it's kind of tarnished on the outside, but you get a nice glimpse of the underside, and you can tell that it's made out of silver. It's probably a fairly expensive brooch. You know what? And there's actually an engraving on the back of it. I don't think you would be able to read it, but there is an engraving on the back of it. Because it's like in ancient Czech.
Gives me something to learn.
Yeah, it's something you can have checked on later. It's something you're gonna have to check on later. Sorry, I'm a child.
There's 12 in here. I mean, is that significant in any way?
This was. Wait.
You think these were court members? Or
And who they served. Possibly. This would be the representative for Clan Zemitsi. Do we want to crack open another one and see? Verify our theory?
and by default, one tribe would be missing.
Well, that's if they're kindred at all.
They weren't kindred. They were servants of kindred. I'm theorizing. Because body has decayed. If it were a kindred, that body would be either ash, dust, or goo.
Yeah, they're like Sigmund, right?
Yeah. They were the vassals
Possibly.
or the thralls.
So I have a question for the storyteller.
I will attempt to have an answer.
So Dr. Ford has a ritual called Calling the Aura's Remnants,
Okay.
where it says that a successful ritual test allows the caster to speak with the animate reflection of the deceased for one scene as if they were still alive. This communication is not with the deceased spirit and only has access to the memories of the deceased up to the time of death.
Okay.
But the question then is, will they only be speaking in Czech?
I mean, that would make sense for them to only be able to speak the language that they know.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks. That's an awesome thing to be able to use, but I'm pretty sure.
What was the first off, would I be able to hear it? Or is it only you who hears?
It's a good question.
What is the exact description of the power? Where is the power located, by the way?
So it is located in the Chicago Folios, and according to my note, page 171.
Okay. 171.
So, yeah.
I have the book. I just have to get it.
Yeah, but that was the direct text for the system description. It says a critical win extends the duration of the speech for an entire evening. The general description just says this ritual allows the caster to speak with the residual psychic aura of someone who has died.
What page is it?
171.
171. Oh God, is this one of Nikolai's fucking things?
I have no idea. It says my other note is that it was kind of connected to the Chicago chantry.
Yeah, no, this is one of Nikolai's rituals. Ugh, little creepy bastard.
Oh God.
You know what? I'm gonna say, just for fun, and to make it a little bit more interesting, that when you do it, who's seen the D&D movie yet?
I have, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna say the body itself gets up.
Oh gosh!
Like just like in the D&D movie, what happens is the body will sit up and it will talk to you for a little while. But it only has memories up to the point of its death.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've ever used this in the past, it doesn't typically know that it's dead.
Okay. All right. So the ritual roll is going to be intelligence plus blood sorcery versus the ritual level +1. So the difficulty is going to be 3. Intelligence plus blood sorcery.
Can I assist in any way?
And it's and I have to do a rouse test first.
As a blood sorcerer, Benny, you can always assist. You just have to you just add 1 dice to the pool.
Okay.
Okay, so she gets hungrier.
Okay, and you get 1 extra dice if Benny's helping you out with the ritual.
Okay.
I will also make it easier for Benny to buy this ritual if they want it.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Oh Lord.
Because you've seen it used.
Oh,
Okay, is that
Uh,
a
yes, it is.
messy crit?
yeah.
It's definitely. Mm-hmm.
That is a messy critical.
There's no way I can undo that.
That's perfect.
That's how this night is going.
I'm going to go ahead and say that Dr. Ford is now going to be again suffering from their clan compulsion.
Appreciated. I'm going to have to take a note of that.
So for the rest of the scene, everything has to be perfect. You are 2 traits down on anything that doesn't have to do with making this perfect.
Oh dear.
So, you two perform this ritual, and Mr. Prophet gets to see the eyes of this corpse just kind of... They're not really there because he's just a skeleton at this point, but he's taking on more of like a psychic overlay of what he looked like. Like almost like a transparent skin forms over the corpse itself that's like a sickly green color. And the psychic eyes that it has just shoot open, and it breathes in this gasping, wheezing breath and starts looking at you all just monstrously terrified. And it starts yelling in Czech.
Oh gosh.
I'll say calm down in Latin.
It will stop. He will stop talking and he will look at you. What does Benny look like, real quick?
Tall, lanky black dude, gold tooth, sunglasses.
Oh, he is freaked out. This is the ghost of
Small dreads.
This is the ghost of the whitest of white guys.
Both Prophet and this guy are like, what the is that?
I love that Prophet comes with its own censoring. He starts. What is happening? Like, he looks at Benny, and only Benny understands this. He's like, "What is happening? Why am I in this? Why am I in this box?"
Tom, time has passed. At some point in the history, you have passed on. But we need to speak with you.
He goes to reach for his brooch, which is gone, and then he starts asking questions repeatedly about where's his master. Has the master risen?
No, I don't think so. Who is your master? Who?
The the great Methuselah of Viserat.
I'll turn. Do you know who Viserat is?
And he's just going to continuously talk as if he's the only one in the room. And he asks you, where is Labrusa? Where is his wife?
I'll point to one of the caskets.
He will sit up and look at what you point to, and then look in the room and realize where he is, and he will start to scream frantically.
Calm. Death happens to all things.
He looks at his hands and sees his bones through the translucentness of the basically spirit hologram that has formed around him, and he starts to like frantically like wipe his hands, trying to wipe the image of the bones off.
There's nothing we can do to change your past. We're attempting.
There's nothing nothing he can do to change his past. However, his bones are disintegrating under the rubbing.
Dr. Ford, how's your Latin?
don't speak Latin. I don't know what he's saying. This was a bad idea.
I'm saying.
Can we get him to stop screaming?
From around the corner of the room, there is this echoing voice, this authoritative, and you're all gonna understand this. This echoing voice that is bellowing, "Who disturbs the halls of the dead?"
Shit. Okay, so my first thought is slam the lid closed.
Okay. There is now a muffled screaming and a banging that quickly stops as his arms fall off in the casket. How long does this work? What's the duration?
So there was a critical success,
Oh god.
The evening.
which extends the duration to an entire evening.
Okay, well, for the rest of the night, he is going to be freaking out and screaming in his grave.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
Okay,
Dr.
treated
Ford.
that way.
And there is obviously something else in this room, which is none too happy.
Dr. Ford, I think we pissed some people off.
Yeah.
Right. We're good here. All right. Who's talking to us? I'll yell out.
From around the corner, this skeletal, but not solid, this form, this rotted, this image of a man with a long beard, skeletal face. Anything past his ribs are just bone and flowing like just a mirage in the wind. And he whips around the corner. The way that only something that's not encumbered by physical bondage could. And just looks at all of you and says, "Who is it who disturbeth the repose of the dead?"
I'll point to Dr. Ford.
"Thou hast entered the halls of King Vaclav I. Thy Cainite flesh must be unraveled from thy Cainite bones, that thou may enter the halls of the dead naked of all thy Cainite spirits. And I am going to attack you."
Oh, gosh.
So who's ready to fight actors?
Oh, God. 1 second. It is going to swipe at you with these ungodly, just demented-looking clawed hands.
Oh, man.
So,
Uh,
how do I roll again? It's been such a long time. It's roll exclamation point.
No,
exclamation point roll.
Exclamation point roll, space.
Roll, space, and then the dice, right?
Number D10.
Okay. And it's going to be attacking Dr. Ford because that's who is pointed at.
Uh-huh. Great.
Oh shit!
Oh, fuck me running.
So what is Dr. Ford doing in response to this? You can dodge, you can run, you can attack back, but you have to beat that roll.
I don't think that roll's going to be beat by any measure.
This is not going perfectly, Dr. Ford.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes with a crit. So that's 8.
Yep, 8.
She's not going to beat that. Instead, she's going to use a discipline that she has not used yet.
I hope it's get the fuck out of the way discipline. Does Dr. Ford have celerity?
No.
Uh-oh.
She has Ashes to ashes.
Okay. Ashes to ashes works on a body.
I imagine there's some body in all this mass.
There is no body that's attacking you. There is a wisp.
Oh, it's.
He is unphysical whatsoever.
Uh,
So I'll let you take that back, because that's not going to work.
Okay. All right. Then she's going to use a different discipline that she has not used yet either.
All right.
It's going to be Fatal Flaw.
Okay.
So it
How does
is.
Fatal Flaw work?
I have to pull up the text, but it's intelligence plus aspects versus either the composure or stamina plus subterfuge of the subject. In this case,
So
the
you're basically fighting his willpower.
yes, in an attempt to figure out what his weakness is. That's kind of the gist of what the discipline is. I can pull up the text for it as well.
Okay.
So it's in the player's handbook.
Are you just going to take this hit full force?
Yes, it's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
It's going to be bad.
Because you take like 8 damage.
Uh-huh. It's not going to be good.
Okay, we can go ahead and roll that Fatal Flaw if you'd like. I'll
All
go
right.
ahead and I'll roll his willpower right now. I think I did that right. Let's check. So he got 2 successes on that willpower roll.
Okay. And what the? Apparently she got 2 successes as well. No, 4. I can't count.
Yeah, you got 4 successes.
4. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So his flaw. How am I supposed to answer that?
So let me read the text of this thing.
Let's hear the text for Fatal Flaw.
So the description goes: everything breaks, and the vampire using this power can see the signs before they happen by observing the subtle work of entropy. The vampire can glean the Achilles heel of a target. It is a crack in their mental facade or a weakness in their actual armor. They spend a turn intently observing the target, looking for a flaw in their defenses. Describing the role, and then it says a win shows how they best attack their target, revealing the lowest defense pool in either category, and provides a 2 dice bonus to attacks against that pool. If the user informs anyone about said weakness, they gain a 1 dice bonus.
Okay. So you get to know like what his weakest attributes are. Did I understand that correctly?
Yes, and I should have done a rouse check, which she failed. Okay.
So you just get hungrier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up to 4, no big deal.
So, okay, so his weakest attributes, I'm going to give you 3 of them. Okay?
Okay.
First off, he's fugly, so his charisma is low. Do you get numbers or just description?
It doesn't say I get numbers. I just know what their weakness is in. I guess the idea is that in a specific category. So, mental weaknesses or physical weakness. So in this case, if I don't know if I'd have to choose. But in this case,
because we're doing this and this is an awkward fight. I'm gonna give you 1 of each. Okay. I'm gonna give you a mental, a social, and a physical. He has a very low charisma, obviously, just by looking at him, and you can also tell that his composure is lacking, and so is his resolve.
All right.
Those are his weakest aspects.
Right.
He would be easily manipulated.
All right.
Just because of frustration.
I've also taken 8 superficial damage. How's this damage working so far?
You
I
take
need
8.
to get that.
Okay, he slices at you with his incredibly cold, ghostly claws, which rip right through you. And at first, when you look at it, in fact, this actually is good for Mr. Prophet and Benny also. When they see him slash at Dr. Ford, what ends up happening is the claws go right through, and at first it doesn't look like Dr. Ford's taken any damage, but then 5 slashes open up on her torso after the claws go through. It's like it took a second to catch up. But this thing does some pretty gnarly damage. Now, luckily it's superficial, and you have superficial damage, so you only take 4 damage.
Oh, thank goodness.
But
I was about.
he just like full on Viking warrior scream, rah, and just slashes into you.
Oh man. Oh gosh. So with that information,
He's also screaming about how dishonorable K-Knights are because they are always entering his crypt.
wonderful bit of levity.
At one point, he goes, "Not again!" But he
So
keeps going on about honor.
yeah. So kind of like as she takes the damage, into and the wounds open up on her, like in her chest and stomach, because I imagine that's where he struck at her.
Yes,
Um,
largest point of it, largest point of impact.
so kind of like she'll collapse for a moment, but as she's collapsing, she'll look over um, at Mr. Prophet and wordlessly communicate using another discipline that she hasn't used before in this campaign. His mind is weak. Is like a is a I don't know. I guess as a player, I'm kind of at a loss for like what the heck I'm doing. Yeah, she'll kind of press that into Mr. Prophet's mind. His mind is weak.
Are you using telepathy on Mr. Prophet?
Oh yes,
Okay,
and
just making
the
sure.
way that yes, and the way that telepathy works in this regards, she doesn't have to do a rouse check if all she's doing is communicating some words into their mind.
Yes, it's when you need to steal something out of the mind where things get complicated.
Yeah, and so yeah.
All right. So what does Mr. Prophet do with that information?
Right. This has a really slim chance of working.
Do it anyways.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just looking at when we rouse the blood, we get what? How much of a bonus in dice?
Let's see.
2.
2.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 bonus
Okay.
dice.
Going all in. Let me rouse the blood real quick. Okay, good. I'm not any more hungry. Prophet's gonna wave his hands to try to get this thing's attention.
Mm-hmm.
And assuming like it can speak to us.
Yeah, it moves like somebody in the water, but in the air. And it just kind of like motions, like turns its whole body towards you as you start waving at it.
He'll say, "Hey, You need to forget about it and try to cloud his memory.
All right, let's see if you can dominate a ghost.
Let's see.
Hooray!
There we go. 3.
I don't think this would typically work, but I'm gonna let it happen. So you're telling it to forget
Yeah.
the last.
The cloud memory, so he doesn't know what happened for the last 10 minutes or so.
Yes. So he is going to, at this point, he looks taken aback by the fact that you're in front of him all of a sudden. And he looks at you and says, "Who is it disturbeth the repose of the dead? Thou hast entered the halls of King Vaclav. The canine flesh must be unraveled from thy canine bones, and thou may enter the halls of the dead naked of all but thy canine spirit."
Yeah, the intruder prophet will just point down from where they came from. They fled down there, man.
You do understand he still sees you, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We were here trying to protect space.
He's
Premisil from tomb robbers.
All right. You're gonna have to give me a. You're gonna have to give me a manipulation plus subterfuge for that one, sir. And he got 2 successes on that.
Nope, I only got 1.
Yeah, he's not having any of this shit. However, he is taking a different tactic at this point, and he is going to fly around the corner back from where he came from. And not long, like just seconds after he disappears around the corner, you're going to start hearing some kind of strange scraping sound.
All right, let's get out of this room. Retreat.
Are you guys just running?
He's not.
That is a viable option.
Here, we can try one other thing. He just looks at Benny.
You guys can always run.
Yeah. He looks at Benny and says, "I'm going to go all in on this, and if I freak out, you got to come find me." Okay?
Okay.
All right. I got to make 2 rouse checks.
Good luck.
Oh God, I passed them both. Okay. Prophet is since the guy's not in here. Prophet is extending his Cloak the Gathering, along with what was the other thing? Silence of Death, Ghost in the Machine, to Benny and Dr. Ford.
You're making them both invisible.
All of us, yeah. All of us invisible and soundless in terms of moving, though the 3 of us can still see each other.
Yes. All right. There's going to be a little bit of a glimmer. Those of you with Sense the Unseen will notice a bit of a mirage-type quality to the air around you. And you know that something is definitely different as Benny extends the Cloak of the Gathering around everybody. And just as you all fade from sight, that scraping sound gets louder and closer. And the fully armored corpse of King Vaclav has now pulled himself out of his stone casing and has a great sword, and that it's dragging behind it. But you now have a skeletal knight, effectively, that is walking into the room.
I guess we move away from the spot that we were in.
Start trying to walk past it.
Yeah.
All right.
It
Well, it makes a lot of noise as it walks. This awkward, barely able to hold itself up, fully armored, full plate mail, armored knight dragging the sword into the room, trying to look as tough as it can. And I mean, the idea itself is terrifying. But as you turn the corner, going past him, there is a slight elevated area where his grave was, where you could see where the large casket that he was in has slid open. What looks like a small altar with candles that have not been lit for untold years, with several piles of gold coins, almost like given in tribute to this king. And directly next to that, to the right, is a large wooden door with iron bracings.
I'll point to the door.
I think that with the combination of the scraping sword on the stone floor and his incredibly loud footsteps in his armor, you'd definitely be able to whisper back and forth to each other without being noticed.
Should we head to the door? Get the hell out of here?
And we probably have to stay on this. If you attack someone, though, or this thing I'm doing to you is going to wear off.
Yes, Mr. Prophet knows for a fact that if you try to open that door, it's gonna break your concealment.
Can I use Valorant on Dr. Ford to heal her some?
I do not see why you would not be able to.
I look at Ford, put my hand on where she's wounded. Hopefully I don't get hungrier.
Hopefully.
Ding, ding, ding. Hunger it is.
Hunger it is.
Oh, no.
What's your hunger level at right now?
It is full. That is 5.
You're at 5 hunger?
Yep.
Holy shit. All right.
Intelligence fortitude.
Can you heal me before you eat me?
Well, I got to make sure dinner's ready.
Tenderized.
One success. What? What is this?
How does this work exactly? Let me get the book out.
Difficulty 2.
Difficulty 2?
Oh. No.
Yeah.
Are you freaking serious? Oh my god.
Hold on. I will spend the willpower to reroll my 2 non-hunger dice.
I would also like to point out that I am massively amused that the first time a player character has used Valorant in any of my games, it's been a Banu Hakim.
Look at that.
And I should have used that, all right? So that takes it to 5.
Okay, so 5 successes?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Critical success, yeah.
That was 2 10s. You rerolled into 2 10s.
Okay, I think they renamed Valorant, did they not?
Not according to my note. It's going to be Player's Guide, page 75. It's under Fortitude.
Oh, okay, I was looking under Auspex. Here it is.
Yeah, it's amalgam with aspects.
All right. So the vampire projects their fortitude outwardly, willing the power of their blood to mend the injured body of another vampire. One Ra's check and additional health depending on the circumstances. Dice pool intelligence plus fortitude. The vampire rolls intelligence plus fortitude against difficulty of 2 and mends a number of superficial damage levels equal to the margin of the roll. So you would heal 3 levels of superficial.
Nice.
So that's a
So
start.
I'm down to 1 superficial damage.
Oh my god.
But
Okay, so
being
you're able to use that,
noticeably hungry.
and it heals. I don't think there's any reason why that would cause anyone to notice. And you're very, very lucky that this is 5th edition, because in other editions you would have a third eye sprouting from your forehead right now.
I know. I was okay with that.
So yeah. Okay, so you heal. You heal up a little bit. Now what? He's still like wandering around looking for you all, speaking about how you're all cowards and need to come out here and face him like the monsters you are.
I'll look at Ford. I need blood now.
So, will you be able to keep it together?
Hopefully.
So while it's a corpse, I can remove it from the corpse, but I can't do anything else to it. If I let you feed,
I would like to point out to Dr. Ford there that it now has a physical body and could very well be a victim of ashes to ashes.
okay. I guess from her perspective, maybe she probably doesn't know if destroying the corpse would also harm the wraith, so to speak.
Okay. Do you want to do a mental challenge to figure if you know it, or?
Sure. Let's see if she knows that. That'd be great. I'll
All
just
right.
subtract 2 dice from whatever pool you say I get to use.
Yep. Which is going to be your intelligence plus occult.
Okay. So at that, all right, I'm going to be rolling 3 hunger die. Nope. Not happening. Apparently not.
Okay. You
2-1.
have no idea whether or not this is going to work, and you're already suffering from your clan compulsion.
Yeah.
And you just got a messy critical.
Yeah. So from her perspective, she wants to destroy this thing.
Yes.
Because that's like that was the first task that she kind of went at, is identifying its weakness. She knows it's got a weak mind. She saw that dominate had an effect on it. She knows it's got a body. She knows she can destroy the body, but she doesn't know if it'll have any impact on the wraith itself.
And I'm gonna go ahead and say you're gonna. I'm gonna let you choose.
Oh.
Okay. You're gonna have to pick a result from this messy critical.
Okay.
Okay. Either you're going to gain a hunger, or one of your wounds is going to open back up. Which will alert Benny of the scent of blood in the room.
Mm-hmm. So I'll go with the latter. I'll go with the wound opening. because she's going to turn and try to get some of her blood on the corpse.
Okay, so
So that she can actually.
you're gonna try to flick the blood over to the knight, to the king that's trying to hunt you down right now.
So she's not going to flick it at him
Okay.
so much as she's going to kind of like, using the fact that she's under the obfuscate, she's going to just approach him, and then, with a hand, just kind of get some of her blood on, and I guess, an
Okay.
unprotected part.
Okay. With the way he's moving around and flailing, what we're looking at here is a dexterity plus athletics check. Okay?
Lovely.
At the exact same time you're doing that, Benny, I need you to roll willpower. And I'm pretty sure it's like a difficulty of like 3 for Benny. That is 2 successes for Benny. So Benny's going to need that blood. Benny's going to frenzy right now. And let's see if let's see Dr. Ford's roll against the Wraith. That's going to be let me roll mine.
Unswayable mind doesn't help with frenzies, right?
Huh? Unswayable mind does not really help with frenzy now.
It's gonna go terrible.
Maybe not as much as I was thinking. Okay, cool. Yeah. He's very hampered on this roll, so.
Good. Because she needs to do a rouse check in order to use this ability.
You have to beat him by 2. Like, you have to beat 2.
I did not.
What'd you roll? You got 1 success.
I got 1 success.
Okay. So this is how this shit's gonna go down.
Yeah.
As you go to put blood on this ghost who's inhabiting his old body, Benny is going to attack at the same time. And regardless of Benny hitting you or not hitting you, or catching you or not catching you, you're not going to hit the king. And also, both of you are going to pop out of obfuscate.
Mm-hmm.
So I need an opposed roll from Benny trying to grapple Dr. Ford, and Dr. Ford trying to not be grappled. And what's Mr. Prophet doing in all this?
Popcorn.
He was praying that Dr. Ford didn't break obfuscate.
Yeah, they're both breaking obfuscate right now.
Yeah.
Oh. It's a tie.
The tie goes to the active kindred.
The active kindred is the one that's trying to bite me.
Exactly. Well, not bite yet, grapple.
Oh, grapple me.
Yeah. And there's no damage dealt because it's a tie.
Mm-hmm.
However, in the next round, since you're grappled, Benny can now bite. So what Prophet sees is Ford going up behind the king, about to put blood on him, and then Benny jumping and grabbing Ford. And now, with the lust for blood in his eyes, Benny is about to bite into Dr. Ford. So we have another physical challenge between you two.
Is the ghost or
the Wraith is now noticing the situation that's happening behind him. Yes. Because there's growling and screaming and everything else that's happening.
Prophet's gonna try to just open this door.
Oh gosh, really?
I'm sorry, but if I was playing a Malkavian and I saw Banu Hakim eating a Tremere, I went, and nature takes its course, and I'd leave. I might go back into Obfuscate and just try to like mimic some kind of National Geographic's documentary.
Yep.
Am I using strength or dex?
You would be using strength for pretty much everything. You have no finesse right now.
All right.
Now, Mr. Prophet, you will definitely be able to get to that door and open it. Okay, so how is this working out? Do I see one success on Ford?
No.
No?
Oh no.
Oh,
No.
shit. No successes on Ford.
Uh-huh.
And one success on Benny, which means Dr. Ford takes 2 aggravated damage
Yep.
as Benny bites into Ford.
Do I reduce my hunger any?
I would hope so.
You get the bite, and unfortunately, you do not come out of frenzy automatically until you completely drain your subject.
Oh dear.
Now, I'm happy to reread the frenzy rules if you guys would prefer.
Sure.
I am all up for double checking rules when something like this is happening.
As much as I've enjoyed playing Dr. Ford, and I'm okay with whatever the outcome is. I just want to say that now.
I am glad to hear that there's no hard feelings or anything, but I like Dr. Ford and I would like her to stay around.
I would too.
Heck, I would do like a survive at a steep cost. I'd be so down for that.
You have a chance of snapping out of it when you hit hunger 1. So where exactly is Dr. Ford when it comes to blood?
Or as far as blood, as in hunger, or blood as in health?
What's your hunger?
Her hunger's at 4.
Okay,
right?
so you don't
Yes.
even have the blood to knock him out of frenzy right now.
Mm-mm.
To do that, I'd have to be Diablerizing her because you get, 1 blood for every health level?
You get 1 blood for every hunger trait that you give her. Every round, Dr. Ford will be taking 2 ag from you biting. But you can get 1 hunger out of Dr. Ford, and that's it. Because it's a 1-for-1 basis, your hunger for her hunger.
So if he keeps trying to get hunger out of me out of the next round, because I can take a couple more ag, no problem.
Yeah.
I can take a couple more, but I can't give him any more
It'll
blood.
move to Diablerie.
Yeah.
That's how it will work.
What he
All right.
did not want to do in his time. All right.
Now, Benny, being in an enraged state, cannot engage the kiss. So you can still try to fight him off while you're still alive until you reach torpor. So Mr. Prophet's going for the door, which, seriously, smartest thing Mr. Prophet can do. So the next round being between you two. I guess actually this round also is going to be King Vaslav just losing his shit laughing at the situation that you're in. That's his action. What exactly? Benny's just going to have to keep biting. So, Dr. Ford, what is your plan of action in this? Do you have anything in your magic bag of tricks that can get you out of this situation?
So what I settled on was she's going to try to use telepathy to communicate directly to this corpse.
Okay.
And say, "I serve Lord Volklov. Help me."
Okay, let's get a social challenge.
Uh-huh.
Let's get a social challenge. That is going to be
Okay.
manipulation plus subterfuge, because you're lying through your teeth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He 2 successes on his end.
Got this. You got this.
1.
Oh Lord.
Are you fucking serious?
I believe it. No, that's not even 1. That was a 5. I've got 0.
You
Zip.
skill failure.
Even better.
Oh my god.
I'm down with this. This is cool.
Yeah, but it's only halfway through the game. Okay.
Oh God. I'm
She
so
made it
proud.
halfway through the game. Are you
Okay, so
crazy? This is exciting.
Your action was to try to communicate telepathically. Benny, you're gonna attempt to take more blood, which she does not have. So, you are going to take 2 more ag, Dr. Ford.
Yep. So she is at 4 aggravated, 1
Uh-huh.
superficial, which means that she has 1 unmarked health box left.
My god, I don't want to do like storyteller intervention.
No, this is like, well, I'm also really cool for any kind of like you survive at a steep cost kind of thing. Like I'm down for whatever
I'm
happens here.
trying to
If
think
that's
of
Yeah.
what that would be. Does anybody have any suggestions on this? I'm willing to
Well,
do open counsel on the game.
well, Prophet, once he gets the door open, he's going to turn back around, draw his pistol, and try to shoot Benny to distract him.
Okay, so you're okay. Sorry, say that again. He's doing what now?
So once Prophet gets the door open to where he has some kind of avenue escape, he's going to turn back around, draw his pistol, and shoot Benny from whatever distance he can to try to distract him to get him off Dr. Ford.
Okay, so you're trying to shoot Benny.
Yeah.
Okay, that is going to be a
Is it composure firearms?
given the fact that you are shooting a teammate to save another teammate, I'm going to go ahead and say composure firearms is probably the best bet. I'm also going to say that you're up 2 traits due to the fact that he is just blatantly standing there. So yeah, just go ahead and add 2 to that dice, and we'll see what happens.
Right.
God, what would Benny roll for this? Because you're not doing you're trying to feed.
No, I just have to tank it.
Stamina plus fortitude is the only thing that I can think of you rolling.
And my fortitude is mental.
Yeah, so you basically can roll your stamina. 1 success for Benny, and 1, 2, 3, 4 successes for Mr. Prophet. So, what gun are you shooting him with?
I think I took the 9mm, which damages, I think, +3.
I believe that is, in fact, a +3. Given the situation, though, we're going to go ahead and double check.
Yep.
Fuck. Oh, God. Okay, here we go. Weapons, 304. Okay, 9mm, you said?
Yep.
Yeah, +3. So, margin +3. Let's see, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 success, 7 success. Then you're going to half that +1. So you're going to take 4 damage. Benny takes 4 damage, and you are definitely going to realize that you are being attacked from the outside. You cannot necessarily continue your diablerie while you are being attacked from behind. So you might want to worry about handling that problem.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So basically,
So,
your new target is Mr. Prophet.
So drop her, turn to him.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah. Dr. Ford is literally just going to fall out of your arms onto the ground as you turn to to face off against Benny. How is this happening now? The king is still cracking up laughing because he's enjoying watching K-Knights bicker among themselves.
I'm
Prophet,
rushing him.
yeah, Prophet's plan is to give Benny the middle finger and then slip around the corner of the door and obfuscate.
Okay. If you successfully dodge, you can slip back into the room that has the king's grave in it, which is around a corner, so you could go back into obfuscate. So, it'd be a strength plus brawl from Benny versus a dexterity plus athletics for Mr. Prophet, and then you can basically just go right back into obfuscate. Is that one success from Benny?
One success.
I'm going to actually rouse the blood for this.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna like slip right through Benny's grasp and get around that corner, and you're able to slip into obfuscate. What else?
Hopefully he'll go. I don't know, but the plan was hopefully I just distract him and he'd go charging, trying to find me.
Well, I mean, I can definitely see that happening. So when Benny comes farrily around the corner and doesn't see anybody there, but there is an open door.
Would I use Sense the Unseen?
You can very much use Sense the Unseen. So that would be your wits plus aspects versus I think is it your intelligence plus obfuscate?
Wits plus aspects versus wits plus obfuscate.
Okay. So that test needs to be thrown.
Yep.
Benny just jumping right into that roll. He's like, I know, I'm ready. I'm gonna eat me a Malkavian. And no, so. Benny is not eating a Malkavian.
No.
So Benny would most likely, his beast would assume that Mr. Prophet has gone through that door.
He has fled.
So roll. God. What's your humanity?
6.
6. Tell you what. I want you to roll your blank humanity. This is not in the book. I'm making this rule up. I'm trying to have the beast make up its mind about something. I'm trying to see if you would hunt down the Malkavian or go back to your sure thing meal, you know?
1 success.
1 success, I would say that you would probably go through the door looking for the Malkavian. So, when Mr. Prophet sees Benny go through the door, what do you do?
He's gonna move around and see what is the Wraith doing in front of Dr. Ford.
The Wraith is standing over Dr. Ford, lifting his sword, which seems to be rather heavy for him.
So at this point, I'd say that Dr. Ford is not paying attention to Benny, but has tried to take a moment to actually just touch him somewhere on, between his armor with the blood that's on her hands.
Okay.
Because if she can just do that, she can use ashes to ashes.
Okay. So why don't we do a physical challenge versus your ashes to ashes?
Okay. And so, since this is actually her second attempt to reach out and do this,
Mhm.
rather than getting a 2 dice penalty, can she get just the 1 dice penalty?
Actually, I do believe those are the rules. If you do things over and over again, yes.
Okay. So
And
stamina.
if you succeed in doing this, it will be perfectly done.
Okay.
And I'm loving the fact that this wraith does not have melee, so it's just its straight up strength.
All right. 2 successes.
2 successes. All right, let's see how this screws you over.
I'm down for this.
4. Watch him come up with like all 10s.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit! I was kidding.
5 successes, critical.
He got 5 successes, critical. So the sword is going to come down. And
I would like to spend my willpower to re-roll his die.
Oh, boot and rally? You got boot and rally or something?
Oh my god! Are those? Is that dice you rolled? Man, even if you did get a success,
These
it would
are
only
these
be
are
3.
all these are all hunger dice, man.
They're
I can't
all
re-roll.
hunger
We're
dice.
at all full hunger here.
Jesus.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm down for
Don't
this.
send the
2
nerds to do that.
success. 2 success versus 4 success.
5.
So that 5? Oh
He
god,
had
5. Okay, so the great sword that he's holding, or the broadsword that he's holding, is going to come crashing down on Dr. Ford. And Dr. Ford is going to take half of the superficial damage that the sword clashes down on with.
And that amount is?
Which would be, I believe it's round down.
Yeah.
So you should take 2 superficial damage as the sword clashes down on you.
All right, so that means she is now at 5 aggravated and 1 superficial. That means she is literally 1 superficial damage away from complete destruction. Glorious.
5 superficial and 1.
Because it'll spill over. She's got 1 unmarked box, so 1 superficial, bam.
That will put
And then
her
the
in
second-
torpor.
Torpor, yeah.
Oh, so she's in torpor right now? Because I thought with the full superficial that just makes her impaired.
No. What's going to end up happening is if you take 1 more damage, you will end up being torpor.
Oh, okay.
Okay? You
All right.
cannot die as a vampire from straight out superficial damage. It has to be aggravated damage, or it has to be mass trauma damage. So, like, if this wraith knocked you into torpor and then spent the next 5 minutes just like docking you like a pizza crust with that sword, then that could
Probably
count as a
will.
death. If he removed your head, then that would be death. If he ran over you with a steamroller, that would be death. But like he'll put you into torpor when he hits you.
Okay.
Okay, so Mr. Prophet can hear Benny in the other room growling and knocking shit over. And he can also see Dr. Ford getting slammed down on by a broadsword from this wraith. So what are Prophet's actions as the wraith is beginning to raise his sword again?
All right, Prophet. Prophet showing some of his true colors. From obfuscate, he's just going to put his pistol right to the side of the wraith's head and pull the trigger.
Okay. I'm going to count that as point blank.
Yep.
I just need you to roll to see how much damage. It's not even going to be a if you hit him kind of thing. So I will roll his. I don't even know. I don't even know at this point. Let's see. Stamina. Yeah, I'll be rolling his stamina. So.
I have a way to save it all if you need to.
Oh?
dream sequence. It's a premonition.
It's a premonition.
Ah,
I'm gonna spend a willpower to re-roll.
Oh my god, he got freaking 3 successes again.
I know.
This is
Terminate,
one
yeah.
hardy wraith.
mhm.
No, re-roll. Yeah. Non-hunger dice.
Criticals.
Well,
Hey!
had 3 successes.
Okay, so basically four damage. 4 damage
plus
is what this
3.
guy's gonna take. Huh?
Oh yeah. Plus the gun. Yeah.
Well, that is
Oh yeah.
that is plus the gun. So he's gonna take the damage and lose interest in Dr. Ford. That is definitely going to knock you out of obfuscate.
Oh yeah.
Benny is also going to hear the gunshot. God damn it. Whenever I have a problem, I use a Molotov cocktail and I just have all new problems. Oh my god. Okay, so he turns and faces you with one of the most menacing just visages that he could ever possibly muster. He's going out of his way to make himself more terrifying. And let's see. He is going to look at you in the eyes, and I need you to throw a composure plus manipulation. Sorry, composure plus resolve against his manipulation plus dominate. So, because they gave him dominate.
Oh dear.
It's basically it's dominate adjacent. It's not really dominate. It's
True.
gonna do the same thing though. 2 successes.
1, 2 successes.
Okay.
I'll spend another willpower to reroll 2 of my black dice.
Yeah, you might as well.
Mark that off.
How many health does this motherfucker have?
Oh, that's better. So 4 successes.
Okay, so he looks at you, and you can definitely feel your body wanting to do what he commands. But he looks at you and says, retreat. And you're able to force yourself past it. What is Dr. Ford doing since you're right at his feet?
Just gonna take advantage of whatever gap this
You're
corpse
trying
thing
ashes to ashes again?
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, it's. I also fully expect her to die once Betty catches up to her. Anyway,
We'll see how it goes. I got 1 success on my defense roll for this.
well, now she's gonna get the full 4 dice to land it. 1 success.
1 success, and you are the active kindred.
All right.
Therefore, your blood gets on. And just as Benny is entering the room, the leg that you touch collapses into dust because of how old this guy is. The armor just falls out from under him, and he lands down on basically tri-stance. He's holding himself up with his hands and his leg. And he's slowly starting to disintegrate as he's screaming about how unfair this is and how he's so tired of canines coming into his area. But Benny is now the big problem in the room.
I'll burn a point of willpower. Control for a turn.
That will let you control for a turn. So as you see him disintegrating on the ground and falling basically to dust under his own weight, you're able to shake it off for just a second to be able to see that Mr. Prophet has just helped distract the Wraith enough for Dr. Ford to take it out. And you have an action, so what are you doing?
Ceremonial dagger
Uh-huh.
into my own heart.
Oh,
What does that do?
I think you're trying to stake yourself, right?
I am.
Yeah, but is it wood?
No, but staking doesn't have to be wood anymore, right?
No, it does.
Damn it.
Staking is wood.
And there's no wood here that's strong enough for me to stake myself.
What? Okay, that would be under thaumaturgy, would it not? Do you have the... Oh my god. Do you have the ritual that allows you to... Let's see, where is it? This is the most dramatic episode, and there's so much rating. Okay, you have the ceremonial dagger. What is that called? I know it's a ritual.
I have the Scorpion's touch. But that's to
Can't
poison the blast.
scorpions touch yourself, can you?
No, there's a... Oh my god. Do you have the ritual for the ceremonial dagger?
No.
Oh,
My
okay.
rituals are
So
craft bloodstone.
Huh?
My rituals are craft bloodstone, truth of blood, and Dagon's call.
Okay, so you're basically just trying to harm yourself to the point where you're torping yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Basically, I'm going to say that you're allowed you're allowed to just... I cannot remember the word. Wow. I always do that.
Relent.
Thank you. I'm just like, it starts with an R. Yeah, you're allowed to relent to your own attack, and you are attacking yourself directly in your heart's blood. You are going to torpor yourself. So Benny comes in true Romeo and Juliet fashion and stabs himself in the heart and just collapses on the floor. So as the Wraith collapses, you hear another thump on the other side of the room, and you see Benny with a knife sticking out of his chest.